Constitution of Ukraine, which was in 1710, very, very early.
67 years before the U.S.
Every country has its own history with the Constitution that sets the foundation of its fundamental law. The first Constitution of Ukraine as an independent state was adopted on June 28, 1996. The Constitution consolidated the legal basis of the state, its sovereignty, and territorial integrity. Did Ukraine have its own constitution before independence? Yes, it did. It should be noted that the historical background of the constitutional process in Ukraine dates back to Kievan Rus, when pacts and constitution of rights and freedoms of the army were adopted by Hetman Pilip Oрлик. The Constitution ensured the establishment of an independent Ukrainian Cossack state within the borders of the ethnographic national territory. The state authority was divided into legislative, General Cossack Council, executive, Hetman and his government, and judicial, General Court.
All right, and let's have a look at this constitution. So it's one of the world's first constitutions empowering the citizenry and introducing the separation of powers long before the American and French constitutions were enacted. Could you please read the preamble and the main articles for us? Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. The preamble briefly discusses Cossack history, the rise of the Zaporizhian siege, and its downfall when after Bogdan Khmelnytsky, it rebelled against the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and ended up serving Imperial Russia. According to the introduction, using all available means, Moscow limited and nullified rights and freedoms of the Zaporizhian host and eventually subjugated the free Cossack nation. Ivan Mazepa's politics and alliance with Charles XII of Sweden are explained as logical and inevitable, mandated by the need to free the homeland. The independence of the new state from Russia is given as the primary goal of the Benderi Constitution. Articles 1 through 3 dealt with general Ukrainian affairs. They proclaimed the Orthodox faith to be the faith of Ukraine and independent of the Patriarch of Moscow. The Sluch River was designated as the boundary between Ukraine and Poland. The articles also recognized the need for an anti-Russian alliance between Ukraine and the Crimean Khanate. Articles 4 through 5 reflected the interests of the Zaporizhian Cossacks, who constituted the overwhelming majority of the Benderi emigration. The hetman was obligated, A, to expel with the help of Charles XII the Russians from Zaporizhian territory, B, to grant the town of Timiria okay, to the Zaporizhians to serve as a hospital, and C, to keep non-Zaporizhians away from Zaporizhian territories. Articles 6 through 10 limited the powers of the hetman and established a Cossack parliament similar to an extended council of officers, which was to meet 3 times a year. The general council was to consist not only of the general staff and the regimental colonels, but also of an outstanding and worthy individual from each regiment. Articles 11 through 16 protected the rights of towns, limited the taxation of peasants and poor Cossacks, and restricted the innkeeper. Charles XII, King of Sweden and the protector of Ukraine, happened to be Benderi at the time and confirmed these articles.
That's the first constitution.
Quite complete too. It's very, comprehensively takes everything into envelopment.
Did you read?
Very succinct also, by the way. Unlike ours, which goes on and on for a while.
Sorry?
Yeah, ours starts with the preamble and it goes into ramble.
The one which was...
the U.S. Constitution.
When was it written?
1776.
1776. And how long is it?
Apparently it was too long because almost nobody pays attention to the...
So is it the same constitution since then, never changed, never amended?
Correct, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's never, well, it has been amended, yeah. There are amendments to the Constitution. But, the original document fits on 2 sides of a sheet.
Mm-hmm. Original document is 2 sides of a sheet, okay.
Yeah, and eventually amendments to the Constitution were added, and they're occasionally still being added, really. Mm-hmm. I don't remember when the last one was added. I can see this was probably the inspiration for the one written here in the U.S. What at the time had to be either a real or at least dreamed of separation from the oppression of the British government at the time.
Mm-hmm. America was a bit more successful in keeping their independence. Unfortunately, Ukraine...
For now, yeah. Well, not without being oppressive in many ways ourselves, as the U.S. is always in the affairs of other countries where it sometimes, in my opinion, doesn't belong. And I could go into details, but everyone knows what I mean.
Якщо ви ще не підписані на Україну, обов'язково підпишіться внизу. Якщо вам подобається дивитися відео як це, то поставте лайк.